So hello fellow Earthlings. This is Earthling 6455463728. And this is the story of a bird. A young juvenile bird. So sometimes I talk to my friend on WhatsApp and send him voice notes and stuff. And he's mentioned before that there in the background there's so many different birds chirping and stuff. To me, it's normal. I don't really even notice it too much most of the time. So, one occasion, I guess after he mentioned it to me, I was standing up at the back door and I happened to see a bird that I presumed was an adult bird, but of course, as the story would say, was actually a juvenile bird. And it wasn't in a nest, it was on the fence, just hanging out. And suddenly, what I presume was his parent or her parent came flying over to the bird, and it opened up its mouth, and the parent put some food inside. I have no idea what kind of bird this was, but it was interesting that this was a bird that could fly, maybe not fantastic, maybe not long distance, but clearly it wasn't in a nest and it could, move around wherever it wanted to. But its parents were still feeding it. And that's the thing, there were two of them that were feeding it, both of them. I presume to be mom and dad. And when I looked at this, I thought it was pretty cool. And I thought, hey, that's the end of it. I noticed that, when the parent came with food in its mouth, it would start making a noise, and baby bird would, I guess, come along, or at least it would identify where it was, and the parent would go over and feed it. So fast forward a couple of days, I come into the living room, and my mom is saying how there's a bird in the house. So apparently, the ceiling of the house isn't that great, and the bird managed to get into the house from the back of the house through a hole in the ceiling, which there are many, and it managed to come out through a hole at the front of the house in the living room. So it was trapped in the house. It is a juvenile, so I don't know if adults are smarter than to know not to do something like that, or at least how to get out of a house if you find yourself in it, because that doesn't normally happen. But I was really kind of concerned because this is some distance away from where I saw it feeding, and if it didn't know how to get out and the parents were still feeding it, then obviously, fast forward a couple of days and this might be a dead bird in the living room. So I was like, okay, I have to find a way to get this bird out. And my mom is not the kind of person who does things like that, so she was just leave it alone, it'll be fine. But that's not normally how life really works out when it comes to wild animals in houses, especially small ones. I mean, a big one, maybe, I don't know if it's a deer or a possum or something, if it might just go out on its own, or a snake. But this bird just wanted to go up, and it was not going to figure out how to go back the way that it came. It wasn't that smart, and it was just, instead of going down low enough so it could get through a window, it was just staying at the same level that it came into the room at, flying from one side to the next as I'm trying to get it to go a little bit lower so it can realize that there are windows and to get out. So this bird is not cooperating, and I can't be on a ladder or on the couch or anything to actually grab it. It's actually a mobile bird. So eventually my mom comes up with the idea that I should get a net. And so my mom suggests a net, but nobody actually has a net. I mean, I'm not like a fisherman or something like that, and that'd be the wrong kind of net anyway, I presume. So I'm thinking, a net, what's like a net? So I'm thinking that maybe one of those things that you put on a table, like a, those fine, it's like a doily, but like thinner. Or maybe it is just a doily, is what you call it. Anyway, I found one of those laying around somewhere, and I decided that I would get 2 broomsticks and prop them up underneath it. So I have this really unstable thing that's like a volleyball net kind of thing, and it's still not working. This thing is falling off. It's too much to the left. It's too high. Sometimes the bird is flying over it because I don't have it high enough, like against the ceiling, or he's going around it. And well, I finally decide, okay, well, I can't say finally. I'm going really, really slow. I'm trying to learn from every mistake, where I can't corner the bird and like push it towards one of these windows or something. But eventually I get it to go towards one of these windows, and the bird flies out of the house, and I'm like, yeah, cool. But there's a little matter of the idea that he is a number of, maybe 20 meters, probably less than that, away from where I saw that he would meet up with his parents and get food. So I'm hoping, the sound of their chirps and whistles should be loud enough for them to hear. So I'm like, okay, he'll be fine. But I noticed maybe later that same day, parents, mom or dad, is, chirping, whistling, apparently uselessly, because they can't seem to find the kid. And I'm like, oh my God, what is going to happen here? Am I going to find this kid dead somewhere? So I'm just hoping that it doesn't end poorly. And I'm hoping that I can see that it ends positively. So I think maybe it was the next day, because the thing is, when the bird was in the house, obviously it was breathing hard with me trying to get it out of the house. And I was thinking, is it going to need water? That's, I was thinking maybe it might get dehydrated and just collapse in the house, or it might get dehydrated outside and not be able to find something to drink. So I don't know. But anyway, at the front of the house, I think it was the next day, I realized, hey, here's Youngbird, because his back feathers were not completely well, as long as parents, I think. And then also because I think maybe the noise that he made was baby bird noise. But then I realized, wait a minute, when I scared him off from where he was unknowingly, I just came outside and scared him off. I realized, wait, that's mom or dad, and so they got reunited. And as it turns out, when I was asking my mother about it, she mentioned that it was more than one kid. So hopefully all of the kids survived. But anyway, I think that was the kid that I was thinking of, because I had never seen the parents feeding the kid at the front of the house. And here it was at the front of the house that I saw this bird. And then they flew to the back of the house. And I presume that all's well that ends well. I think I saw 2 young ones getting fed by one parent. And I think there was another parent there as well. So I'm pretty happy about that. I don't see them anymore, so I think they're probably matured, and they might be on their own, and I can't say that I hear their whistles. But I might be wrong. I went outside and a number of birds flew up into the air out of the yard, so that could have been them. Anyway, I liked interacting with them. I didn't like the part where the bird, I was concerned for its safety, for its health, but I thought I would share that because I thought the whole thing was kind of nice. I told my friend about it, and he told me about a nest with birds in it that he had to move, and it was considerable distance from where they found it, because it was on top of some equipment, some stuff that they had to move. So he hoped that the parent would be able to find the nest. I don't know if parent is going to be that smart, and short amount of time. I'm sure those baby birds were only going to make noise for a certain amount of time, and they're probably only going to be sustainable for a short amount of time before they pass away. So both of us hope that one's going to end well too. Anyway, guys, you can wish me luck. You can like or unlike. You can comment, subscribe, and or share. Peace.